Now, the topic given is something related to research methodology, and I do agree with Prof. Mumtaz that I don't remember there is a seminar held on research methodology in relation to Islamization or Relevantization. And I think this is really an eye-opener, not only for Usuluddin, but I think it's very interesting that I will transfer this experience to the Kulliyah and we see how we can cooperate more in this area. Now, I have divided, because I'm not able to open the slides for reasons which is beyond my control, it may be technical or otherwise, but I will just share some of the views in these 20 minutes. One is to look at, the topic given is research methodology, the application of Islamization and Relevantization. So I'll look at Islamization and Relevantization, and then in the second part of my talk, I'll try to see the need for research methodology, and I'll give some few examples. Now, when you look at the sources of knowledge, and as many of you understand, we have what we call the revealed sources. That is Al-Quran and Sunnah. These are the primary sources. And our brothers and sisters in Usul al-Fiqh will also say they have a secondary source, which they call Ijma', they call Qiyas, they call Istihsan, which is part. But again, this second source, although they consider it as primary, or although they consider it as an important secondary source, it has also been developed because of ijtihad. Ijtihad. Now, the other side, you have the human knowledge, which Professor Mumtaz has just mentioned. Now, when you look at this human knowledge, we have two components. One component is our At-Turath al-Islami. That is the Islamic heritage, works of Muslim scholars. And the other side of this component is conventional works, works from conventional scholars. Now, when you look at the first on revelation, most of our emphasis will be on relevantization. In other words, you have a lot of Quranic verses, a hadith. How do you contextually relevantize those to your needs? And here again, there is an important tool that you need to understand, because not anybody will just look at the Quran and hadith and try to relevantize. That's why our brothers come up with a very interesting idea. Those in fiqh and usul al-fiqh, they have those methods of qiyas, istihsan, to help them to relevantize. But the other side is also, you have people like in Quran and Sunnah, and I think inshallah, Prof. Isra will speak on that. They have other methodology that we call like textual analysis, content analysis. How do you analyze those texts and relevantize them to our needs? Now, the interesting part is when you come to the second part of the sources of knowledge, which I call the human knowledge. Now, in terms of this human knowledge, as far as the works of our early Muslim scholars are concerned, also the idea of relevantization becomes very, very paramount. Let me give you an example. Many of you, of course, have studied this idea of maqasid al-sharia, the objectives of sharia. Now, we are doing research on that. We are developing what we call a human development index based on maqasid al-sharia.
Islamization, relevantization of research methodology. So I will speak on how to Islamize and how to relevantize the research methodology itself. In other words, what should be the pattern of research methodology that could be considered as Islamic one, or in accordance with the Islamic principles. I will begin with the definition of research. Actually, methodology has not yet been well defined anywhere. I'm saying it with full confidence. But the research has been defined. It may vary from discipline to discipline, from area to area, from the eastern part of the globe as well as the western part of the universe. But there is a definition of research. I would like to share with you the definition of research as I have preferred. I'm not saying I have developed, I have preferred. Research is thorough investigation into the selected subject or issue with a view to developing either new knowledge or new interpretation. Either new knowledge or the new interpretation of the existing form of knowledge. According to this definition, research must lead to something new. The idea, the knowledge must be new. If something has already been talked about and has been developed earlier by others, it does not make any sense for any researcher to enter into that field. And believe me, as far the research is concerned, okay, there are rooms for developing the new ideas. Let me share with you some examples for new knowledge or the new idea as well as the new interpretation. Because it is quite abstract to claim to develop the new knowledge or a new idea or the new interpretation. With these examples I have in mind, I am planning to share with you right now. Everything will be clear concerning new knowledge and the new interpretation. First of all, examples of new knowledge. Mufassirun, naturally, since I belong to the Department of Quran and Sunnah Studies, okay, the examples are from the Quran and Sunnah.
The paper on Islamization of knowledge, that's the title, Research Methodology in Political Science. Quran is the ultimate source of knowledge. And Quran tells you that you have to do research. Every now and then, Quran tells you knowledge is very important. I think we have to make a very clear distinction between information and knowledge. Ilm. Information is not knowledge. You may have all the information from all over the world on your fingertips, but that does not make it knowledge. That information that you have acquired, you have to work on that information. You have to knead it together and come up with something which makes sense, and that's called knowledge. And Quran therefore talks about knowledge, and we have to know about this. It's immaterial whether Islamization or relevantization. Relevantization by the term is the term invented by Prof. Kamal Hassan, source of all problem. I was there, Prof. I was there for the first time when you came up with that term in the hotel. Islamization and relevantization, these are two different things. Okay? Islamization refers to human knowledge, and relevantization is directly related to Quran and Sunnah. It's to divine sources, divine knowledge. How do you make it relevant to contemporary period? How do we apply Quran and Sunnah to our contemporary issues? That's what relevantization is all about. And Islamization is how to make the existing knowledge, acquired human knowledge, to be in conformity with the Quran and the Sunnah. And he uses the term Islamization. People use Islamization, but what's in a name? A rose is a rose, no matter what name you give it to. So, but whether you are doing Islamization or whether you are doing Islamization or whether you are doing relevantization, you have to do research. You have to do research and you have to be familiar with research methodology. If you don't know methodology, you will not be able to do Islamization or relevantization effectively. And when we talk about methodology, and Mustafa was talking about it, there are quantitative and there are qualitative methodologies. And interestingly, Quran uses both. Quran uses both quantitative methods as well as qualitative methods. I was shocked when I content analyzed the Quran. I found that Quran has used all the numbers. Quran has used all the numbers, 0 to 9, half, quarter, 1/10, 1/8, 1/7. Shocked completely. That uses all the numbers and talks in numerical terms. And Rashid Khalifa, he said that the whole Quran is based upon number 19. Number 19. The entire Quran is based upon 19. And it's in one of the ayah, alayha tis'ata ashar. On top is 19. And people did not know what is 19. And he thought he got the wahi. That the whole Quran can be divided by 19 clearly, without any doubt. You count the number 114 surahs and you can divide 114 surahs with number 19, it will be exactly equal 5.